vlogs here that we're going to do. We've got some products that we're going to talk about today for BRODIX cylinder heads. Right now, one of the products that we have is the new big block cylinder heads, the SR20. We want to give a few details and show a little bit of detail on it as well. We get a lot of questions on the phone that a lot of people will call and ask us questions, want to know a little bit more about the product. So maybe this will help clarify some of the questions that are being asked and give you a little bit more detail and a little more insight on the product itself. Like I mentioned, this is the SR20. It's listed in the catalog and online as a BP SR20, which is a BRODIX ported. This head comes a full 100% CNC ported. We have a intake port runner that is 440 cc's, and it will flow. It's an oval port design. It'll flow over 500 CFM with this port program put into it at 900 inches of lift. As you can see, it is a large oval port design, and it's raised up quite a bit more than a stock. One of the questions we get quite a bit is, how much is this intake port raised up over a stock cylinder head? And it's raised up 500 thousandths, so you're up half an inch over a stock intake port location. Another thing about the SR20 is it has a pretty good size intake port into it. So it's 440 cc's, and that's a very large volume for a big block head. And one of the ways that this was done is this intake face is extended out a half an inch, so that gives you a whole lot more volume on it. And that's another one of the things that helps out on the airflow as well. And of course, it does add to the volume of the head. So a lot of the guys that are going to run this cylinder head are going to have a pretty good sized engine. Most of the people that we get our feedback from, a lot of our engine builders that we deal with from a day-to-day basis, they get really good results on these on, say, like the 580 cubic inches up to 632. So it's a real popular combination for that size engine. We have had some people tell us that they put them on smaller engines, and they make a lot of RPM and they build a lot of power on the top end. The exhaust ports, they are spaced out like a conventional head. The exhaust bolt pattern is the same. Now it is raised up. Most of our big block cylinder heads on the Chevrolets will be 600 thousandths higher than a conventional big block head, and this one here is raised up another 150 thousandths. So you've got 750 thousandths over a stock GM head would be. A lot of people ask us, why do we refer to it as a conventional style head? And as you can see, this has more of an appearance like a big block Chevrolet cylinder head. As you can see over here, this is a Big Duke style head that we produce. This is one of our 1200 series, our 12 degree heads. And you can see that it's quite a bit taller. The intake ports are raised up quite a bit more too, and its overall size is just bigger. So that's why they refer to this head, the SR20, as a more conventional style head. Now, when you do go to purchase some of these, you will have to have special components. You're going to have the pistons, the intake manifold. Your push rods will be different. The head studs will be different than anything else that you have. And so everything's pretty unique to this cylinder head to make it work on your application. Some more about this head is the questions we get is what size intake valve is it? We utilize a 2-400 intake valve, and they have shrunk the exhaust valve down to 1-800. Now that's a small valve for an exhaust for your typical big block cylinder heads, but it will still flow over 335 cc or CFM for the exhaust port, which is a pretty good number. And when we flow the heads, we don't put an exhaust tube on them or anything like that. It's straight out of the head is what the flow figures that we're getting. So it's real numbers and in a controlled environment. Something else about the head to give you some more detail, it is a 20-degree valve angle. That's how we came with the SR20. That's what the 20 means. It's a 20-degree valve angle. It has a very small chamber. It's a 95 cc combustion chamber, so you utilize a small chamber as if it was like a chamber out of a big pro stock style head, like the Big Dukes that we produce. On On the valve cover rail, you will notice that we have an extra bolt hole. That's just an extra hole. It's not extra for anything else, but it's there. We had to move this over because you have to run a sheet metal valve cover with it, so you have all the clearance you need to run your Jessel, your T&D shaft system, or the shaft system you choose to put on this cylinder head. The valve covers we have available through BRODIX. This is one of our sheet metals here. It shows that we have the BRODIX logo that's engraved into it. We also have this available without a logo, so you can get one that's plain. And they are available through BRODIX. They're on the shelf and readily available for you. We have the intake gaskets are made here locally. We have those readily available for the heads, and the valve cover gaskets are going to be the same way. We do have our stud kits. We put them together in-house for the aluminum block applications. We also have a stud kit that we get from ARP for the cast iron blocks. Another thing that I'm looking at here that I failed to mention is that we have a spring pocket that's 1/760. That's a pretty common question, so if you need to put a pretty good size spring on it, then we can. We normally put a good triple spring on it that's good for 800 plus lift. That seems to be the popularity of what people request, so that's what we put on our standard package. This head you can buy complete, fully assembled. Our standard package is going to come with stainless valves, and it'll have a triple spring good for over 800 lift, and you'll have titanium retainers on it, of course. And it's ready to go. It does require a shaft system. T&D and Jessel both have shaft systems for it. And just call us. We can go over the part numbers. We can tell you the accessories and everything that you need to make this work on your application. And another thing that we can do that's asked for quite often is, can we change anything on the head? Can we make any upgrades? And yes, we can. Usually we're pretty open to make changes to make it where it's going to fit your application, where you can utilize it on your application better. So we try to make this as user-friendly as possible. You can upgrade the intake seat to an A45 material if you prefer. Another thing that we can do upgrades on is we can do titanium intake valves versus the stainless. Another thing that we are asked to do a lot of times, especially for the people running turbos, it's going to have a lot of exhaust heat and temperature, so they'll ask for an Inconel exhaust valve, and that's something that's available too. We do want to let you know that we're 100% American made. We have our own foundry, and we have our machine shop. It's all in one location, so this starts out as a liquid form, and it ends up as a completed form here to go out the door. So it's something that we're proud of. We just want to express that and let everybody know, because that is a question we get occasionally from time to time, and I believe that's one of the things that BRODIX is probably known for the most, is that that we're 100% American made. We try to put these videos together just to give some more clarification about the products and give you some more details. We encourage you to call us and talk to us. I'm one of the guys that you can talk to on the phone. My name is Jason Nugent. We have 4 other people in the office that will answer technical questions or give you any kind of direction and help that you may need in purchasing a set of these. We have quite a few engine builders that we deal with from a day-to-day basis, and they give us a lot of feedback. This cylinder head here works good on 5 80 cubic inch engines up to 632s. Seems to be the popularity, and we've been getting a lot of positive feedback about it, a lot of good horsepower gains. A lot of people that's been running our headhunter heads, they may be looking to do something a little different, and this would be the next choice to go to stay in a conventional style cylinder head. So if you have any questions or any requests, give us a call. We'd be glad to talk to you and go over those details and try to help you out as much as we can. We do have our webpage. It's the www.brodix.com. We'll have a lot of information on there about our products as well. You can send us messages through Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. We want to thank you for this time, and like I say, if you have any questions or any request of other videos you'd like to see, send us a message and we'll see what we can do to fulfill that for you and get that information out.